Here we are, my friends. It is Sunday. It's about 11 o'clock. It's 10:30. It's 10:30 and I'm on my way, as I promised y'all, getting groceries. And I think you can tell. She's snowing. She's snowing pretty good. It's been snowing ever since my morning talk that I posted a few hours ago. And it's supposed to continue snowing all day. So, as I promised, pitter patter, I'm going to get at her. I'm going grocery shopping. I'm not sure if I'll talk to you again or if I'll talk to you tomorrow morning, but stay tuned to the video. There's going to be a musical montage of our snowy days, and then we'll probably see Gordy in the morning. Peace and cheers, love and harmony. Stay warm. Hope you enjoyed the music and the sights and sounds of our wonderful winter. And I think it helped me figure out the title for this video. Canadians, strong by circumstance, not by choice. You know, I was thinking about it. If you take all political considerations aside, if everybody could move to Texas, Florida, and California, everybody would. It just isn't feasible. We're strong by circumstance because of where we live. We have to put up with this kind of stuff. I mean, there I am. It's with wind chill, it's now minus 10, maybe minus 11, and it is cold and it's snowing really heavy. Yet I got off the train. I got off the train, and it was 19 minutes to my next bus. Now, sure, I could have waited in the train station, stayed warm, grab a bus, get off, only 100 feet, boom, I'm at my grocery. But just like in the summertime, if I get there and the bus isn't there within a few minutes, 19 minutes, I can walk to that grocery store in 19 minutes. Yes, it's another 10 blocks, but I can do it. In the snow, yeah, I'm going to be going a little slower. An old guy like me, some of these sidewalks are not touched. I'm going to slip sliding away, you know? The more you're slip sliding away. Oh, that was terrible. But I'm going to leave it in there so you can make fun of me. Friends, I'm going to turn it over to Gordon in the morning, because now I got to concentrate on this walk to make sure I don't fall and get the groceries and get home and turn the heat up. Peace and cheers. See you in the morning. Keeping on with the theme of this, yeah, we're strong. Us Canadians are strong. But again, it ain't by choice. It's because of circumstance. I do think we're strong. And speaking of strong, my young boy, look at him here yesterday. Again, it wasn't my weekend with him, but you can see he's having fun in the snow. He wanted to spend a little time with me. I know it's more he wanted to spend time with his computer and his games and his friends online. But that happens here. And I'll accept it. Because he also wanted to spend time with me. We had fun walking home, and you can tell. But what I mean by strong is that's a young boy who has felt kind of sick and under the weather for a week. And yet he was pushing himself. He only missed school last Monday, and he really shouldn't have missed school last Monday. That was his mom's choice, and she's got to make choices sometimes. Even she could be wrong. But this morning, he sent me a message and said, "Dad, wow, I'm really sick." And I said, oh, okay, are you coming over? He said, "No, I told Mom I'm going to school. So please have some ginger ale for me because, wow, my throat hurts." So I'll have ginger ale ready for him. I'll be picking him up at 3 o'clock as per usual. So there he is. He's learning that you can't just miss school because you're a little under the weather. You will be under the weather in Canada while the weather's bad in Canada, and we have a long winter. It can get good, it can be bad. You get the both. But by tomorrow, +2, by Wednesday, +4 or 5. This snow, as thick as it is, and it's pretty thick, will be gone by then. So, will his illness. I hope he can push through. This week is vaccines at school, and no, I'm not going to get into a big discussion on vaccine. I'm sorry, I'll stand strong there. No, I don't believe in the flu vaccine, something that's a disease, that the flu, a virus that's ever changing. All they can do is inoculate you with last year's flu and hope it works on this year's. But vaccines, measles, rubella, all the chicken pox, all those kind of things, vaccines work. So the only reason we're starting to have breakouts of these diseases that have been under check for 30 years is because some silly people are saying, "Ew, it causes autism." Friends, I'm sorry, sometimes I stand my ground. Cheers. Gord's in a lot of pain today. Just lifting that arm really, really hurts. I've got, and I think it's the weather that brought it about, but the first couple of times I felt this, it was awful. And I'm speaking of fibro chest. Look it up, fibro chest pain. And they don't know why. They don't know why, but fibromyalgia can sometimes attack the chest area. and it can cause extreme tightening in the cartilage that holds the vertebrae, the ribs together, the sternum, and you can end up with a whole bunch of tightness inside. Good morning. You can end up with a whole bunch of tightness in your chest, and it feels very similar. Well, I've never had a heart attack, but it feels like your heart's gone. Your chest is all tight. Because your chest is tight, you feel your breathing is difficult because it's strained because your chest hurts. The first few times I felt this, I've had this this is probably my 6th time, and I've had fibro for a decade or maybe all my life, but I've had this pain a few times. The first time I had it, I rushed myself to the hospital. I was sure I was having a heart attack. And that's the right thing to do. If you have it, even if you have fibro and you've never felt this pain before, get a doctor to look at you. Do not go back to this video and go, well, Gord said, because Gord said go to the hospital. Even the second time, I wasn't too sure. The first time, after a whole bunch of tests, they said, you are just fine. Your heart's going well. Your breathing is good. And you mentioned fibromyalgia. They said, we don't understand why, but sometimes fibromyalgics get this chest problem. And that's what they diagnosed it as. Maybe a year later, it happened again. And I went in again, kind of forgetting exactly what they said, but also just being scared. When you get new pains, you can get new fears. But again, this time they did less tests because there's been a history, and they said, you're okay. You're probably right to have checked with us, but you're okay. So this started yesterday morning. I woke up, didn't mention it to anybody, just, wow, it hurt. And oh, my right shoulder, I can barely move it. If I move the arm at the arm length instead of the shoulder, it's not too bad. So I'm fighting that. I took 2 CBD instead of 1 this morning, and already it's feeling a little better. You get that swelling down, inflammation down because of lots of CBD, and you do better. Just a minute, put my coffee on the floor. We have run out of little known facts, and I thought, what a good day to start something new. If you guys like it, I want to start it with a disclaimer. First, I want to say, folks, are you for it or against it? If you're for it, you're for it. If you're against it, well, that's okay too. Say so below. I needed a new list. 99 reasons why it's better to be Canadian. If you all agree, I'm going to continue with this. But I want to say a disclaimer. I am not a patriotic Canadian. I love Canada. But I don't love the flag. I don't love the government. I would not fight for this country. I would fight for my locality. I would fight for my family. I would fight for my friends. But a country is just a conglomerate of words put together with a flag attached to it and some laws to restrict its people. There's my political thing out of the way. I don't think it's better to be Canadian. It's better to be open and honest. But this is tongue-in-cheek, and it's for a little fun. So we're starting with life and well-being section. I want to read it. It can be hard living next to Canada, to history's greatest cultural, military, and economic superpower. But that doesn't mean the United States is everything. As Canada celebrates its 146th birthday, and we're beyond that, we're 150-something. We dig into numbers to find out why the many ways Canada's better off from to, okay, poor wording, people, check your stuff before you post. Come on. Laziness today. Life and well-being. Number one, we live longer. Canadians born today will live an average of 3 years longer than Americans. 81 years in Canada versus 78.7 south of us. Not only that, the gap between life expectancy in the two countries is widening with each passing decade. Number two, we're more satisfied with our lives. According to Better Life Index, an international quality of life comparison at the OECD, Canadians enjoy a higher level of life satisfaction than Americans, scoring 7.4 out of 10 versus 7.0. Not much of a big deal of difference. Like I said, we're different by circumstance. We're different by location. We're not different by choice. Peace and cheers, friends. Love and harmony. Catch you on the other side.